Hello everyone and welcome back to the second, NZ Octane Podcast. I forgot for a moment.
You should know, bro, it's your podcast.
I should know. This is only the second one, so I'm still forgetting what I'm actually doing. In all honesty, sort of just winging it. But I'm Daniel and...
I'm Isaac.
And we're going to talk about cars and other shit that probably no one cares about, but...
We like it.
So it's fun. We can just talk about cars for a bit.
Nice.
It's good fun. Speaking of good fun with cars, so some of you might have already seen if you watch the NZ Octane YouTube channel about the project car that I bought not too long ago, the Porsche 924. So Isaac and I are going to go a little bit more in depth about that. So basically, it was his girlfriend. It's your girlfriend's fault.
You have to blame us, don't
I will. I'll blame you guys through and through. That's what I told my parents. I was like, look, Brooke forced me to buy it. There's no other way around it. So yeah, Brooke basically sent me a photo of a car on Marketplace, which was the 924. It's a rolling body. She's like, what do you think? I was like, it's perfect. Then decided to spontaneously go down and buy it. So I conscripted Isaac.
Yeah.
Since I called him up and was like...
You hit me up at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey bro, what are you up to this afternoon? I'm like, I don't think I have any plans. Like, it's, typical weekday night. He goes, oh, are you keen for like a small road trip? And I was like, yeah, sure. Thinking we're going to go maybe like Drury or something. He goes, oh, what do you think of Tauranga? And what's that Tauranga?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, your girlfriend's given me this really bad idea that I'm going to go ahead with, and because she's given me the idea, you have to come with me.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say no, you're coming with. So you said yes, we hired a car trailer, drove down to Tauranga.
Left my work at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and we're told the guy, like, we'll be there at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
And drove down, no stops apart from one piss break.
Yeah, filled up with petrol.
No, we filled up on... Oh, sorry, no, we did. We filled up with petrol before we left Auckland. I was thinking like halfway down we filled up. No, we didn't. No, that's right. No, we filled up with petrol before we left. And thankfully traffic through Auckland wasn't too bad.
It was actually really good, especially for that time of night.
Oh, it was a Wednesday afternoon. That was... I was like, do I go down on Friday when I got the day off? I was like, nah, tonight, not going to let this sail. And it was funny as well because... Well, funny to me, not funny to my parents. But the night beforehand, I'd been talking to them about just toying with the idea of buying a rolling body, and like my mate was going to offer me this Toyota Cressida, which I was considering buying. And then, like, I told mum and dad, like, look, I'm just toying with the idea. I don't think I will. Like, I'll just see what it's like, and then I'll figure something out. Next day, I called up dad. I'm like, so, you know how you guys said that I'm only allowed 2 cars while I'm here? Well, I'm selling the yellow Mazda, and I'm currently driving down to Tauranga. He's like, why the hell are you doing that? I'm buying a Porsche. You were on the phone with me. Yeah. You were in the car when I was on the phone with him, and he was just sort of like, whatever, you're going to deal with the fallout.
Yeah. He washed his hands of it. He's like, it's not my
he's
problem,
like, not my issue. You're the one who's got to convince your mother. Needless to say, when I got home that night, she was not happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the fact that the unhappiness came from is we got down to Tauranga in good time. We got
at 8:30, yeah.
Bang on 8:30, loaded the car up, had a stop, got a feed down there, got back. We got back here at like 1:30 in the morning.
Wasn't quite that. It was 12:30.
Oh no, I left here at 1:30 after we unloaded the car.
Yeah, we unloaded the car and we're like, sweet, we're not being too loud. Let's try be quiet. It was loud.
Oh, I think as the moment you walked inside, your dog went nuts as well.
Yeah, Abby started barking. My sister came out when we were up there because she thought that her car was being stolen. No, it was just another shitbox being dropped off.
Typical Dan fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't need cars that run.
No.
I just need cars that roll under their own weight and don't work.
Yeah.
But, no, so I got the 924 and it was looking like I was going to need to sell it because within a day of owning it, I was like, I don't know where I'm going to keep it. I can't keep it here. the mate that I was going to keep it at his place, he never got back to me. So I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to push. It's probably a no. That's why he hasn't got back to me. So I then just listed it up on Facebook because I'm like, this is going to buy me some time with my mum. And look, if someone buys it for what I spent on it, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to sell it for anything less because I don't really want to sell it. And then thankfully, good mate of mine, Greg and Tom, they were like, yo, you can park it at ours however long you want. I was like, what, really? Yeah, sweet as. It's like, you want money for it? And they're like, no, bro. I was like, cool, I'll just bring around drinks whenever I come work on it.
Nice.
Works out.
Nice.
And I mean, because they're pulling apart their cars, Tom's got his Toyota Chaser and he's doing a manual swap on that at the moment. Greg's got his BMW 135i, which is notoriously unreliable, which he's always having issues with. And I keep telling him to sell and buy a JDM, but he's like, no, I like Euros, but I should buy a JDM because they're more reliable. But no, I love this car.
The car's got some power though.
It's got some power. He's pushing 400 horsepower.
I think so.
Through it at the moment, just through stock internals and everything. He blew his charge pipe off last time when we took the car out. He's just got constant issues, and that's the thing with the Euro because he keeps pushing it and pushing it, and keeps having more issues. Typical Euro. I can't say that. I now own a Euro as well, but at least my Euro is already not running.
Yeah. You bought it.
I bought it already knowing it's not running, so that's okay. I didn't buy it thinking that it was going to be running, and then it's not. So, but then I'm putting the JDM reliability into it with a 13B once I save up the money.
You're like the most unreliable JDM engine.
No. They're fine. My RX-8 so far has been extremely reliable.
Okay, you got me there.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably only driven it about 2,000 Ks since I've got it, but
that's fair.
maybe
that's
3,000. But almost at 122,000 Ks.
Sure.
I know it's too high. I bought it at like 19,000 and it's almost at 122, and I'm like, I've been driving it too much.
But see my car, I stress about driving that thing.
Yeah, that's true. But that's also I am only driving it too much because my daily is still in the shop. It's, I think like definitely not overnight parts from Japan, I'll tell you that.
No.
4 week away parts from Japan. Well, that was about 2-3 weeks ago. Now that I was told that it was going to be 4 weeks. So hopefully a couple more weeks and I'll have that back because fuel prices are crazy and the RX-8 is so expensive to run.
Japanese parts, they're great for what they are. They're amazing parts, but God, the time it takes to get them sucks. Yeah. I'm still waiting on a fuel line, which I ordered like you say 3 weeks, a month ago. Yeah. I got 2 weeks to wait for it to get to the shop to then be installed.
Oh man.
Not fun.
No, it's not. Nah. That's the joys of living in New Zealand. Everything is overpriced. Everything that you need is too far away. Yeah. And yeah. But no, doing the Porsche build's going to be fun.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
I'm going to conscript you. I know that Josh said that I was an idiot buying it, but at the end of the day, where's his Porsche?
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't own a Supra and he doesn't own a Porsche, so he can... But yeah, so...
It was a good trip all in all down there.
It was good fun, really spontaneous. I don't usually do anything spontaneous like that. So to just go and say, fuck it, we're driving down to Tauranga, I'm going to go buy a car. It's exciting. It's really exciting. I was not expecting my day to end like that, and I'm sure neither were you.
No. But I mean, like you were saying about spontaneousness, I'm pretty sure the Facebook ad had been up for 15 minutes before you said, I'm coming down to pick it up.
Yeah, it had. Yeah. I forgot what I messaged the guy. I was like...
wasn't
it? No, that's right. First thing I said to him, it'd been up for 15 minutes, and I think he'd had 2 other people like ask stupid questions that were in the description, as typical of what happens on Facebook Marketplace. But it'd been up for, as you say, 15 minutes. And I messaged him, when can I pick it up? Yeah. And he was like, I'm flexible whenever. I was like, 8:30 tonight.
I'll leave straight after work.
My boss had told me that I could leave there and then to go pick it up because he was part of the bad influence that told me that I could that I should buy it.
Everyone around you, it's not your fault, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not my fault that I went and bought a Porsche rolling body. No, it's everybody else influencing me to do it. But changing the topic up a little bit. So we've talked about non-running cars. Let's talk about actually driving and functioning cars. You went on a little, I'm not going to say escapade, but a little outing last weekend. Do you want to tell us all about that?
It was the JDM night loop that was thought up by JDM in
JDM NZ.
JDM NZ, sorry. About a night loop which they do typically in Japan, and I'm always going to butcher the name, and I've forgotten it, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But it's a loop they do in Japan on their highway.
It's the Wangan Highway. They took influence from that because they do the Wangan runs. That's sort of where the game Wangan Midnight and all that. The idea for that came from. Yeah, and then Midnight Club. Well, the Midnight Club.
Yeah,
I think that they used to do Wangan Highway runs. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, we did the loop, and there would have been thousands of cars. You know, the loop started. If you're up here in Auckland and know about it, it started on literally anywhere on the motorway. You know, the idea was you jump on the motorway and you just do loops around the momotorway with
jump off whenever
all your
you
mates, and you cruise around. And yeah, there was how many hours? It would have been about 5 hours of just looping.
Jesus.
It was nice. I mean, I only did 2 loops. I had I was driving my car, my girlfriend was beside me, and I had 2 other mates that were following. I had Josh was cruising around with us, and another mate of mine, Cody, who has this really immaculate SR20 in his A31 Cephei. The car's amazing. I really have a soft spot for his car.
Got an SR20 in it.
Pretty sure it's an SR20. What do they usually have? They have SR20s.
No, I thought that what is it, a Cephei?
Yeah.
I thought that they have the RB20s.
Nah, he's not RB. I can tell you for free, he's not RB.
He's not? Okay.
Nah. But yeah, a manual SR20. He's done the manual swap himself on that. And
very nice.
It's pretty good. So yeah, we were all cruising around, and
well, since it's a Cephei, is it rattle can spray painted?
No, it's not.
It's actually got a real
paint job.
Real paint job on it. Wow, that's pretty rare on a Safiro.
Yeah.
If you can find one with a real paint job, man, you guys are in the big bucks.
He bought that for a steal as well. I think he bought it from a dealership, and the dealership was like, "Oh, it's a piece of crap," you know. He bought it for like 1.5 from a dealership.
That's so cheap.
I know. But yeah, it's gone up in value. He's manual swapped it. He's done he's done all this engine work on it. I'm going to butcher it if I even try and attempt what he's done. He's done the exhaust, and he's just done the interiors up, and done the sound system, head unit, all that. So it's really, really good. But we were all just cruising. We jumped on. There was a sort of a quick pre-meet for like half hour at Mitre 10 in Albany.
Yeah.
So we all started there, and everyone was taking photos of the cars, you know. And 10 to 8 or whenever it was rolled around, and we all just jumped on the motorway there and cruised along.
Nice.
Past Constellation, we got over the Harbour Bridge and went out west and all the way along the western past Westgate, and then jumped back through to Constellation. It was really, really cool, but I think the idea was amazing, and I had so much fun just cruising. Apart from gas prices, that fucking hurt. Really,
that's
really
painful at the moment.
I saw 328 for 98 the other day.
328.
Yeah, it's fucking. It hurts. But yeah, other than that, great run. I think the one downside, which I'm really looking forward to, maybe in like fucking 20 years' time, when Auckland Council decides to sort their shit with the roading. The lights at Constellation was the only downfall. There was like a 15-minute fucking traffic jam.
Oh, man.
Went from basically Albany Highway through to Constellation with everyone just waiting. But it was really cool because people could, honestly, it was moving so slow. People could get out of their cars and take photos, and people were just having fucking conversations with their neighbors. And it was quite communal in that sense. Like, it was really cool. Like, people could just talk, and I was being a typical shit stirrer, and I was just playing my bass way too fucking loud. It was, wow, it's a cool Supra. I'm like, yo, we should listen to this, and playing some fucking mad bass. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Oh, man.
And yeah, no, other than that, it was really great, and I ended up getting off the motorway, I don't know, maybe 10:30.
Yeah.
and I went and parked up at Hooton Reserve, opposite Mitre 10.
Classic.
Yeah, there were no Altezas there, funnily enough.
No Altezas?
No, I parked in the good car park, the paved car park.
Oh, you parked there? Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're always in the gravel car park there,
Yeah.
the Altezas.
So I parked up there, and there would have been, I think, 5 or 6 other people that I knew all parked there. So there was a Sparrow Legacy. There was an Alteza, but his is done tightly, I must say. 320i Beamer.
Yep.
V8 Sora. And there was another old school Beamer that sounded fucking nasty and absolutely loud, but he pulled off not too long after we got there. But yeah, just sat there and we all had a chat about the night, and it was really, really good.
Very nice.
When the gas prices aren't shit.
No, exactly. I was thinking about going, but just in the evening I was so tired.
No, I don't blame you.
I was just exhausted, so I didn't end up going out. Also, I was like, night loop, I haven't put my neons on yet because I need to get a new front lip at least for the RX-8 because that front one's just peeling off and is looking shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I'm doing a night loop or a night thing, I want neons. So, and then you've got the neons on your Supra.
Neons. A mate of ours, Josh, sent the video through, and I think the 2 colours that I'm going to keep on mine, I was originally contemplating having cop lights, like flashing blue and red, but then
that's
people
dangerous.
Told me it's illegal for one, and it's dangerous. But I was like, oh, I know, okay, I'll skip that. But I'm either going to have, like you want, like a real sort of deep purple, or the red, or like a dark red, which I think looks more evil in this
The
sense.
red does look more evil, although the video that Josh sent through of your Supra, the purple lights did look cool.
Yeah. So they're the 2 colours I'm going to have only. But I probably need to re-download the app because my colour scheme's all mucked up. Where if I click blue, it's green, and red.
That's right. I remember you showed me that
black,
and it wasn't.
And I was like, oh, okay. But
it's a bit of a mission.
They work. The colours work.
But you got to select the wrong colour to get the right colour.
Yeah. But other than that, great. I would not down the neons. I love them.
Bro, neons are so good. I'm so glad that they've made a comeback.
Yeah.
Like,
they used to be such a 2002 thing. Where you're like,
and then
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, neons. But now, neons are making a comeback.
Yeah, you're happy. You're really happy.
Just neons make any car look 1,000 times better, especially at night. There's nothing like... I remember when I was younger, seeing a car drive past us at night and it had red neons on, and I was like, neon underglow. And I would have been maybe 9, 10 at the time, and just...
You know what I reckon is going to be the next big comeback? Chrome spinners.
You reckon? Are you telling me, Isaac, that you are going to be the first person in 2022 or 2023 to put chrome spinners on your Supra?
I'm going to get some 22-inch chrome spinners. Big fucking dollar signs and shit.
Oh, bro, do it.
Oh, you wouldn't love that? I think you'd love that.
I reckon do it. Don't lower the car either. Just put these 22-inch rims on your car and just...
Nah, lift it.
Yeah. Lift the Supra.
Because there's that Sora that you've seen around. Have you seen that Sora where it's like...
No, I haven't.
Lifted?
I've heard you and Josh talk about the Sora. Do you want to explain a little bit about this Sora?
Oh, it's... Don't quote me because I've only seen pictures, but Josh knows all about it because I'm pretty sure he knows the owner.
He's a Sora boy.
Yeah, he's a Sora boy. But the Sora is, stock body. I don't know if he's changed the suspension, but it's at least stock suspension. I don't think he's put a lift kit on it or anything. But he's got like fucking 25-inch muddies on it, like big fucking rims and thick butty tires. And he's put like this big thick fucking roof rack on it. And it's mean. Bro. You see him at car meets, instead of parking like a normal person, he parks like the four-wheel drive boys, rear wheel fucking jacked up on a rock or something, and he's just parked there. And it looks so cool.
That's brilliant. I love that. That's doing something so different. And that's amazing.
It's
good
so
on him for doing that. That is so good.
Yeah. So I'll be the next... That's a bad sign, isn't it?
No. The screen can turn off. For those of you who can't see... Got my computer monitor over there. We had this issue last time on the podcast where I had to move the mouse, but I said I was going to turn the screen off, but I forgot to. But it's all right letting it die because this won't hopefully cut out. I tested it before.
Okay.
Everything worked fine, so let's just hope that it all works fine now.
Sweet as.
It should do.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk a little bit about Formula One.
Sorry, that's my bad. I fucked
Well,
up.
so Isaac just fucked up the podcast a little bit. He to keep the screen of my monitor on, he pressed the spacebar button, which turned the screen back on, but it stopped the recording.
Sorry.
Thankfully, we didn't get too far in before you noticed.
Thank you.
But anyway, so the other day was the first day. Oh, sorry. I'm going to start that again. So yesterday, I believe, was the first day of... Sorry, not the first day. Just yesterday was the last day of preseason testing for F1. And a few things that happened. I'll just run over those a little bit. A few interesting points. They've got... So anyway, this is the testing in Barcelona. They have had 3 days there from memory. And then on the 10th of March, they will have another couple of days before the race, which is, I think, a week and a half later, just so that way they can fine-tune the cars and test them and everything. But, and by yesterday, I mean by the time this podcast releases about a week and a half ago. But as of recording this podcast, it's today, yesterday. So Sebastian Vettel, he had an oil leak and his car caught on fire a little bit, so they had to get the fire extinguishers in.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't know if it actually caught on fire, but at least it was smoking, so they got the fire extinguishers in. They didn't go back out. They didn't manage to get the car fixed to go back out later in the session. I think they called it later on in the day. They tried to get back on track, but they just couldn't. Red Bull had some new parts flown in for the car. And Max Verstappen drove on day 1, and so then on day 3, when they had the new parts, reports, nobody knows how much parts were changed or what was changed, but some speculate that the car could feel very different to how it was when he obviously first drove it. Haas and Alfa Romeo were having reliability issues all throughout the sessions, which is a bit disappointing for Haas, because I was kind of hoping that 2022 they were going to do a little bit better and just maybe not massive improvements, but enough to justify them staying in the sport and just a bit of good luck to go their way. But I guess we'll see once they get back into it. But they've put a lot more money into the car this year. They didn't really spend much on the car last year, so we'll see how that goes. And Sergio Perez from Red Bull suffered a gearbox issue that apparently got fixed later on, but so that's good. Reports as well, Daniel Ricardo at McLaren was performing well, which is good. I really want him to do well this year. I mean, he's an Aussie from just across the ditch, so you got to support them. And he drives for one of my favourite teams, McLaren, which was founded by a Kiwi, Bruce McLaren. So naturally, I want them to do well. Him and Lando Norris are a brilliant pairing in Formula 1. And yeah, I just really hope this season he manages to find a lot more confidence in himself in the car and to just do a lot better than he did last year. I feel sorry for him because at interviews everyone always brings up his shit year and like, you know, let's hope that you do better this year. I do feel for the man. Like you'd feel gutted.
Of course. You get one bad year, you know, of course you have a bad year, sucks, do better next year.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, especially because he joined a new team and then had a bad year trying to just adjust to the car. But yeah, hopefully this year will be better for him.
Good.
On day 3, there was another red flag by Alonso, Fernando Alonso, caused by him. White smoke coming from his car. Alpine haven't stated what the cause was, but yeah, there was another red flag there. So from what I saw, there wasn't really many red flags, I don't think, from the other sessions. But yeah, day 3, I think, had 3 or 4 red flags, maybe a little bit more. It was quite a few. What else? There's quite a few teams. So this year, they've introduced ground effects again in Formula 1. So I don't know if you know what ground effects is, but it was used in the Formula 1 cars in the 80s, I want to say.
Shit. Okay.
So this is to help sort of like to get downforce in the past few years for Formula 1. They've been doing all different aero designs on wings and all that, which has basically been creating vortices and turbulent air behind and making it really hard to follow a car behind because your car is just in dirty air and overheating and whatnot. So they've tried to get rid of that, and by trying to get rid of that to get more downforce out of the cars, they've brought back ground effects, which basically helps suck the car to the ground.
Okay.
So back in the 80s, I think, when they had ground effects, cars were notorious for, if they got hit or something, would go flying in the air. Jesus. Because it sort of, from my understanding, don't quote me 100% on this, from my understanding, it sucks the car to the ground and sort of creates a bit of a vacuum and just, just helps hold it to the ground there. And as soon as then that breaks, the car just gets air underneath and just lifts. Okay. So it's going to be interesting. Might be a few flying cars this year. But, so a few teams have been suffering with something called porpoising, which it's creating lots of downforce. Same thing. I don't know 100% the technical explanation of it, but the cars are being sucked down and then basically coming up again and sucked down. So it's breaking that. Yeah. And so they're coming up and down, and isn't something that you want. No, and it's also just sucking the car real hard against the ground. So the three notable teams that have been suffering quite badly from it have been Williams, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Oh shit. Ferrari's been experimenting with a couple different floors and cutting holes in the floor to try and reduce it and get rid of it and figure out other ways around it. Pierre Gasly had a crash, which brought out a red flag. Not a massive one, but enough to cause a bit of damage to the car, some front wing damage, and I don't think he returned to the session after that. And then last was Guan Yu Zhou, who's the new driver for Alfa Romeo. So he's driving with Valtteri Bottas, who was at Mercedes last year, but Guan Yu Zhou, first Chinese Formula 1 driver ever. Nice. He had a red flag. He actually had 2 red flags in one session. First was because he got stuck on a gravel trap. And then the second was because his car stopped. There was no more explanation that I could find than that, but he stopped on track and had to get towed off by the marshals. So that's a little bit of a summary of the little bit of the testing that happened in Formula 1. It's shaping up to be an interesting year. You need to watch it.
I will. No, it's just something I've needed to get into for a long time. But
because Brooke went over was going to go to the Melbourne Grand Prix in 2020. Yeah. And she was there, and it got cancelled because of this little thing going around called COVID-19. Just fun. Yeah, just this. I don't know if anyone's heard about it at all, COVID-19. But anyway, that cancelled the Melbourne Grand Prix, so she had to. She came home afterwards, and that was it. Yeah. But unfortunately,
she got to walk the track. Her and her family walked the track, and they were there for the day. I believe it would have happened as well. Yeah. But no, COVID hit the week before, and they just cancelled it.
And then yeah, that's a shame. But so this season, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully there's a bit of mix up with teams like not just Mercedes and Red Bull winning. Hopefully there's other contenders. My thoughts. So for those of you who decided to stay this long into the podcast, who I think will win the championship is, drum roll please. Alright, I'll just do it by myself. Yeah. I'll go fuck myself then. Yeah. Charles Leclerc from Ferrari. I think he's going to win. He's like Max Verstappen, a very good driver. He's got a bit more restraint than Verstappen, but he's been shot. But in comparing him to Verstappen, I mean that he's been coming up over the past few years. He's been in Formula 1 long enough now that he's sort of got his grounding, got his feet. He's been at Ferrari now for, this might be his 3rd year. Okay. And so he's got a lot going for him. And I think this year Ferrari just might have the package to take the fight to Red Bull and Mercedes. Very good. Especially with both teams, especially Mercedes, being hit by budget caps. Last year, at the end of the season, Ferrari made leaps and bounds with their power unit, just by being able to use the new fuel more efficiently. Yeah. And that helps a lot. They've been doing a lot behind the scenes in preparation for this year. Cool. But I think they have a fairly good chance. They've got a strong team as well. Carlos Sainz, one of the few drivers who changed teams last year and slotted in and just got results. Ferrari ended up coming 3rd in the championship. Sure, not bad. I mean, quite a few points behind Mercedes and Red Bull, but they were in just another league of their own last year.
Mm.
But yeah, they managed to beat out McLaren last year, which is a shame for me. And I don't want Ferrari to win this year. I want McLaren to win, or Red Bull. But yeah, I honestly think Charles Leclerc has it in him this year to win a championship. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to see two different winners,
definitely.
You know, not just have the same people winning over and over again. I mean, I don't know what Hamilton's going to be like. He got the fastest time around the track in pre-season testing on day 3. I'm not surprised at all. I think Red Bull will be sandbagging their car. A lot of them will be sandbagging their car. I think sandbagging. I pronounced that wrong. But yeah, so shaping up to be an interesting season.
It sounds interesting. I need to come over more and watch it and make a proper day of it, sort of thing.
Yep, come over after work on a Monday once I stay off social media. Stay off social media all day so that way you don't see the results, and then we can watch it, and then you'll realise why it's so amazing.
Definitely, I need to.
Yep. And on that note, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
This has been another NZ Octane podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Isaac.
And we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.